Hello, Zimbabwe, and welcome to the program, Moments of Greatness, the program that seeks to inspire and motivate you to become the best that you can be. With me, your host, Maimba, and we're joined by Coach Natsi. Coach Natsi, welcome to the program.
Hi, Maimba. How are you doing?
Fantastic. It's always great to have you.
It's always an honor.
And of course, Zimbabwe, we talk about different topics. Today, we talk about believing in yourself, self-confidence, and what do you need to do to believe in yourself? How do you get by to believe in yourself? And this is what we're talking about, Coach Natsi. The topic, self-confidence, believing in oneself. What is it all about?
I'm excited today about the topic, believing in yourself. For I believe that one can never rise above their level of self-confidence. There are three aspects I would like us to look at when we talk about self-confidence. Number one has to do with the whole issue about how you have to accurately define who you are as an individual. Secondly, has to do with how one has to believe affirmatively in who they are as an individual. Then thirdly, it will then lead to how you're able to express yourself in a very powerful way. That when you arrive in a situation, when you arrive in a moment, you have arrived.
You have arrived, and indeed, all these, the three that you've spoken, every one of us needs to have these for us to be able to succeed.
Definitely, because you have to believe in what is it that is in you. What is it that makes you different? What is it that makes you unique?
Believe in yourself. What is it that makes you unique? And as always, we try to make sure this is a program for Zimbabweans by Zimbabweans, telling the Zimbabwean story, people that inspire us every day, ordinary people that inspire us. And in this particular program, we've got a young man called Frank from all the way in Headlands in Manicaland, who has got a very unique story that I would like to share with you. Please watch and listen.
Hi, my name is Frank Nyamundero. Rangarirai is my name, and I'm a young man who's age 26, was living with albinism, as you can see. Well, I grew up in Highfield, in the streets of Highfield. That's where I grew up in a family of two, having parents as well. But then, growing up with this kind of condition, which the word says is, you develop discrimination around you, short at times, and times giving you names, many names I would say, probably destroying that self-esteem in you. But then I thank God for giving the parents that I have, believing in who I am. But then growing up wasn't that easy, as you can think it was. But at times you wouldn't find anything that you ever wanted, but end of the day you get what you needed. At times you live on the minus. At times you would not be able to access everything that you needed. I remember when I was growing up, my mom used to go into my prazi, like the prazos out there, Mashallah Central, Kuruve, down there, just to sell things, just to also to help my father's finance, support the family. Access to lotions, like what you put on yourselves, it wasn't that accessible anyway. At times you get them for free, but when you don't get them for free, you have to buy them. But But I thank God, my parents had to sacrifice at times, just to buy this small bottle that probably would survive you probably for a month, or at times lesser than that. And not having that much money, it was kind of hard. And also, having people living with that stereotype, living with albinism, is not supposed to be close to anybody, because anoroya. That's what was from back then, like in the story of like Takadini. But I thank God for my grandparents. They accepted my mom as she was because of having me. Because some of them, they're now saying, what, it's best, but having that kind of support, and that helped my mom to accept, to be able to love me as who I am, and take me as a gift, as like other children. But growing up, it's going to school, you have teachers actually not accepting Zawuri, not understanding your situation or your condition. Like most people living with albinism, they've got that, they have that problem with eyesight. They are short eyesight, most of them. So actually when you're in class, you have to sit in front. But then teachers won't understand that. They will be like, you do my test, and then because of your passes, that's how you're graded, where you are supposed to what? You're supposed to sit. I remember sometime, ndakatokopa timetable series, because nanisiri kuona zviripo, and I actually missed an exam because of that. I'm left-handed, and this in the society that we're living in, they'll say you're not supposed to use your left hand. It's not right. It's a taboo. But then I was telling my teacher, you're saying to me, you know what, you must use your right hand. And I'm like, no, I'm left-handed. But then he forced me to use my right hand. But at time, God gave us two hands. Then why should the church choose for us the right hand, while at least I can use my left? The same thing like being an albino. I didn't choose to be this. But then the society then would like question you or question your parents, what really happened to them. But no kura, you face many challenges as you grow. But then going to high school, you had people accepting you, at least understanding now what is VP. But I remember sometime I was like in primary school, because of my skin color, because I know and stuff, but I had passion for football. Like playing soccer, like with my friends, I want to be part of the school team, but I couldn't because of being told I can't kupinda because my cousin sister, wakati as I was saying, at times would struggle to get money. But Zimongova, so my mom was so questioning, should I go to a government school, like a proper government school like other kids? But then she said I should go to Daniko, of which Daniko has got that part you'll be treated like as you're disabled, per se. But my cousin still says to my mom, you shouldn't go there because he's not like that. We need to understand Ari and Ari. So then that's when my turning point was. Could actually have people who accepted me as Andiri, and now to know what, I'm not disabled. I'm now trying to flush out that mentality I'm disabled. But then moving on as life went on, it wasn't all that rosy, because not getting access to probably my textbooks, and you're not seeing much, and you are forcing yourself to read. I wasn't that much of a reader because I was afraid to damage my eyes, mostly because my specs. I remember I think I'd almost tend to, I think around 6 to 8 years without spectacles, because I couldn't access the money. Most of them, they would be costing probably talking about 150, and that money would not take my glass. Life is not what people say, but life is what you make it. And I came to understand, say, I'm the one who owns this life, not the world. And I would say, like, how the world sees you doesn't matter, but how you see yourself is what matters most. So seeing myself as not disabled, that's what it changed the whole story for me. Because I understood what people would say, how people would see me, you're not able to get access to these things because of your condition. That didn't matter to me anymore. So I started to push myself, though I had failed, I started to push myself more and more each day, trying to build my life, trying to build my legacy. I'm like this person who wants to break history. So in A-level, I actually wrote down a draft of a book which called The History Breaker. And I'd given myself probably 10 to 20 years to write about that book. But then the story changed. Do you know what? It's not about 10 years later, but you can actually start to break history now. Then in 2012, somebody in the USA called me, Anonzi Mchengetwa. He actually said, young man, you know what? You're actually doing right. So I want you, whatever that you've been posting, can you try to put it into a book? And I didn't believe in myself then. I can actually do that, because that mentality of being told you're disabled had actually damaged me a lot. So I was actually like, you know what? I cannot do this much because I've been damaged, like in my mental, in my mind. I cannot do this. I have achieved a lot of things. I'm a motivational speaker. I'm a family counselor. I'm a musician. I'm a writer. I've done a lot of things, but not because I'm too unique, but all because of I have come to understand who I am, and I accepted this Andiri, and that has made me to change many lives.
Wow, I'm always inspired and get goosebumps when I hear such inspirational stories by ordinary people from our great country of Zimbabwe. Now, Coach Frank, isn't that amazing, the stuff that you went through?
It's really amazing, but also said on the same note. When you listen to the obstacles or you look at the challenge that Frank went through, how people, whether it has to do with relatives, people would not be able to understand or accept him for who he was, but we are grateful for the parents and those that supported him and believed in him. Same thing happened at school, same thing happened with the teachers, people who could not literally destroy this young man's self-esteem. They are self-confidence robbers. Sometimes avoid people who are negative. People who rob you from believing who you are, no matter what you're going through. Secondly, sometimes the environment that one goes through, your background. Even Frank spoke about the challenges, how he even failed. Those were some of the self-confidence robbers, things that literally wanted to destroy this young man from fulfilling his own destiny.
You talk about things that rob you of your confidence, of your self-confidence, and this is some of the things that we're going to touch on in the second segment, and everything that he had to go through as a young man, fighting society, fighting against him, but he had to rise above that. And in the second segment, stay with us as we come back in the second segment to go through those things that rob your confidence. Hello and welcome back, Zimbabwe, to the program Moments of Greatness. We're talking about self-confidence today, and we've just watched a video in the first segment of a young man called Frank. I mean, being an albino is difficult enough, you know, but he had to go through a lot of things for him to overcome society and how society looks down on our albinism. Your take on this?
Listening to Frank's story, there are 5 things that I kind of picked up. The first thing had to do with self-concept. One of the things that Frank had to realize is I can't change what I am, but I can change who I am as an individual. In other words, Frank had to view himself accurately. How people looked at Frank could have been another way, because people always have opinions about you.
Yeah.
But the truth is, how do you view yourself in regard to how your creator created you? Frank had to realize he is not a mistake. He was to looking himself in a totally different way. The second issue that I picked up was...
So on that, it doesn't matter, really. It's not about being an albino.
That's right.
It's not about being crippled. It's not about being any color, black, white, whatever you are. It's about how you see yourself.
Exactly. Where you celebrate your own originality, you celebrate your own peculiarity. A lot of people, you know, the thing that hits most people's self-confidence is how they sometimes look even physically. The short ones wants to be tall. The tall ones wants to be short. And everybody wants to be somebody else. But it's you appreciating your own originality. You are the best version of you. You're born an original. Don't die a photocopy of anyone else.
Okay, and then you're going to go on to the second one?
Second one. The second one, which I believe is so important, is self-talk. It's one thing for people to say what they say, but after everyone has said, what are you telling yourself? The words that you speak will build you. So Frank got to a place where he began to speak to himself that I am not a mistake. I am great. I have potential within me, which is the encouragement for everybody out there. If you are going to boost your self-confidence, let's say we look at how you believe in yourself. On a scale 0 to 10, where is your self-confidence? If it is low, boost yourself by telling yourself how great, how amazing that you are. Number 3, that I saw and I really enjoyed, had to do with self-development. Most of us, we don't believe in ourselves because we are not developing ourselves. There are many areas in your life you have to develop yourself. Develop yourself physically, that when you walk in a room, you're not just pushing yourself, but you're so confident because physically you feel fit. Develop yourself mentally. You're reading, you're a wide reader, you know that, I know what I'm talking about. When you know what you know, you're confident based on that. Develop yourself socially. When you walk in a room, do you go and stand in a corner because you're not confident of who you are? Frank was talking about the whole issue where, as he was going to secondary school, people would say what they say, but when he would walk in a room, he would walk in with this confidence. The number 4 has to do with self-packaging, which has to do with self-branding. How people appreciate you, how people treat you is dependent on how you treat yourself. A lot of what people talk about is they talk about self-branding. To me, I could say it's self-cloning, where you are trying to be somebody else. But self-branding is knowing who you are inside. Then you brand yourself that way to know that I'm a brand. I'm not a mistake. I'm the best person that can ever be. So it is important that these are self-confidence boosters Because each one of us, at one point or other, your self-esteem it goes down, whether by what you go through or what people say. But you need always to boost your own self-confidence.
So, in terms of, for you to be able to have self-confidence in any, whether it's in the business world, it's in politics.
That's right.
I mean, people want a politician who is very confident.
That's right.
Who when he comes to the people, he exudes a persona of confidence,
That's right.
and people can be able to vote for that particular person. So in every facet of life,
That's right.
for as long as you're not able to brand yourself, you'll
That's
never
right.
not be able to have confidence in what you do.
You can be having an amazing product, but people will begin to doubt your product. If people can't buy into you, it's very difficult for them to buy into what you're selling. Sell yourself, market yourself, present yourself in a manner that people say not you're worth listening to.
And Frank, in terms of Frank's story, how does this impact other just other young people, boys, girls, for them to be able to believe in themselves that they can become whatever they so wish to become?
I've seen and I've witnessed young people destroying themselves, some of them suffering with diseases because they feel they are not the right shape, they feel they are not the right size, they feel they are not the right color. So it really affects young people. Even some of them, they are very intelligent, but they don't feel intelligent because they don't believe in who they are. They can do something, but they feel when time for them to show themselves, they don't raise their hand because they don't feel, no matter how gifted you are, if you cannot believe in your own gift, it's going to be very difficult for people to believe in your own gift.
People not being able to believe in our own giftings, it also comes from the way that as a people we've been raised and have been parented. You know, sometimes our own parents
That's right.
speak negatively about us. You know, they call us names.
That's right.
Uyidofo, you know, they say things like that. These things impact on this self-confidence. So how does one overcome that?
Definitely. I believe there are basic needs that everybody must get at home. Love, acceptance, and recognition. If you don't get them from home, you end up looking everywhere to get these things. That's why I then spoke about somebody else is saying what they're saying. How you can overcome that is what are you telling yourself? This is what they are saying, but what are you telling you as an individual to overcome that?
In terms of what you're saying, that what are you telling yourself? You've got people that are now grown. They're 30 years, 40 years, 50,
That's right.
60 years, and some of them have not even discovered who they are. Some of them still lack confidence, even as 60-year-olds.
That's right.
How do they discover themselves? How do they now come to a position like Frank did, that they can discover this self-confidence within them
Excellently.
when they are broken, literally?
This journey has to start somewhere, and you have to start on the basics, where you have to say, you know what, this is where I've been. I have to stop giving excuses. I have to stop remaining in this prison that this is what they did to me. You have to come to a place where there's, this is now past. I have a present, and my future is waiting for me. Overcoming that past so that you know that you are a product of your past, though you should never be a prisoner of your past.
Overcoming your past, but you should never be a prisoner of your past. Doesn't matter where you are, who you are, what color, complexion, race, creed, religion you are, you need to find that self-confidence for you to be the best person that you can be. We're going to come back in the third and final segment, and we're going to go through a couple of messages that some of you have been writing to us so that we can take it out from there. Please stay with us for the third and final segment of Moments of Greatness. Hello Zimbabwe, and welcome back to the program Moments of Greatness, where today we're talking about self-confidence. We're talking about believing in yourself for you to be able to make it in this society. Now, Coach, self-confidence and pride.
Yeah.
There's a fine line that differentiates and brings these two apart.
That's right.
I mean, I've been accused of having a lot of pride, but I've told people, no, it's just me being confident. How do we separate the two?
That's right. I really like it because if we don't define those two, there's a very thin line. Sometimes people who have a low self-esteem, when they see someone who's confident, they say that they are proud. I believe that pride is an attitude of their heart. It's not about the action. If you see someone putting their hand in the pocket, you say that they are proud. It is mostly a condition of their heart rather than an action. So at the end of the day, when it comes to self-confidence, is you believing in your ability. You are not seeing yourself more highly than you are, or seeing yourself more lowly than you are. Some people think that they are humble, yet they just look down upon themselves. So it's not an issue of you seeing yourself wrong, but it's being able to define yourself accurately. So that's how I could really distinguish between being proud and being self-confident. You see, sometimes now we're living in a generation of selfies. Somebody on their selfie, they look so confident, but within them, they look down upon themselves. So there's presentation self-confidence, how you present yourself outwardly. Then there's inward confidence, how you see and how you view yourself inwardly.
And you talking about that, you're talking about self-confidence, and you're talking about pride. In our country, whether it's business, it's politics, we've said this in the second segment, we want to go back to the issue of leadership.
That's right.
Leadership in terms of whether it's business leadership, it's political leadership. People will always be attracted to a person who has self-confidence. And that said, I would like to just go through a message that one of our viewers sent through, and we have said this before. Would like to hear from you, would like to hear your thoughts on the program, would like to hear what you'd like us to talk about, as we're going to talk about, of course, we've spoken about our champion of greatness for the week, who is Frank. A message came through and one said, please talk about leadership segments, because of our greatest challenge in Africa as a continent is poor leadership. And I believe it will be helpful to our country to receive such teachings concerning how to lead effectively. How do we how do we tie in the issue of self-confidence to the issues of leadership?
That's right. Leadership is one subject that many people have misunderstood. That's why then we have a lot of leaders, but no leadership. Leaders in the sense that leadership brings in a position, brings in privileges, brings in power. And that's what many people define leadership as. So you hear somebody say, I'm not a leader because they don't have a title. But leadership is about influence, as John C. Maxwell says. Everything rises and everything falls on leadership. What is a leader? A leader is one who knows the way, one who shows the way, and one who goes the way. It's about being an example. So how you link that to then self-confidence, because leadership is about modeling. You have to model it. You have to demonstrate it. And number two, leadership has to do with mentoring. I walk with you now the journey. First thing is modeling, you watch me do it. Mentoring, I do it with you. Then monitoring, I watch you do it. So it's not about you. Leadership is about the people around you.
Well, like you've said, and with the issue of Frank, he chose to change the circumstances because of his self-confidence.
That's right.
He's an author, he's a motivational speaker. From his background and everything he's been through, he's now motivating other people to become the best they can be.
The reason is this. The greatness of a man is not on what they have accomplished, but in the greatness of a man is in who they have raised to also accomplish greater things. That's why he's now motivating other people. That's why he's now writing inspirational stories to say that I was able to overcome all this. If I could do it, you could also do it. Leadership is not about you. Leadership is about other people. One of the things that will show that you are self-confident, you are not insecure, is going to be seen in how you develop other people, how you add value to other people. It's not about you.
Well, there you have it, Zimbabwe. It is not about you. It's about how you leave a legacy and motivate and develop and groom, recruit other people that will be able to take on that leadership. That is what leadership is all about. And also, of course, talking about self-confidence, the ability to believe in yourself. Right. And of course, as we close, Coach Natsi, it's been great, as always, having you on the program, talking about self-confidence.
Believe in yourself. If you don't do, no one else is going to believe in yourself.
Believe in yourself. If you do not believe in yourself, nobody is going to believe in yourself. That's the first step that you'll need to do. My name is Maimba. I've been your host. It's been a pleasure. The number on your screen, please take it. talk to us, speak to us. Tell us about a person, a woman, whoever it is that you think should be the champion of greatness. We want to tell Zimbabwean stories. We want to be able to inspire and motivate every one of us across the diaspora, as long as you're Zimbabweans, that we are a great people and a great nation. So God bless you, God keep you. We'll leave you with few words from our motivational speaker and champion of greatness for the week, Frank.
No matter how your condition is, don't worry about having the world accepting you. But it's all about you accepting yourself first and let the world accept you later. Because once you feel pity for yourself, there's nothing that you're going to do which nobody did. But once you have that self-value, when you understand and accept Zauri, then that's how you start to grow to become the person that you want to be. If you don't accept yourself and accept what the world says,